mom friends, has your child ever come up to you and said anything along the lines of, I can't get this. I don't understand. I'm never going to get it. I'm just dumb. I'm not smart. And it just breaks your heart because you know they are smart and created uniquely in the image of God. So how do we as parents instill that truth into our kids? Recently finished reading 8 Great Smarts by Kathy Koch, and it was so insightful. It really helps give the language and the tools to be able to not only discover how your child is smart, but how to nurture those smarts and how those smarts coupled with their heart and character can impact them spiritually and vocationally. The first 2 smarts that she talks about is word smart, people who think with words, and logic smart, people who think with questions. And these tend to be the school smarts, or the smarts that we tend to notice more in a traditional public school setting, which is really sad because not everybody is quote unquote school smart. I remember back in middle school, going from 7th grade to 8th grade, there was a meeting, and part of that was deciding what math you were going to take, because there was a basic level math. There was one class that was a more advanced math. And I just remember there was a girl at another table and her mom pretty loudly said, "Oh, you're not taking that class. You're not smart enough." And yes, maybe she wasn't great at math, but smart is such a powerful word. If a kid is told they're not smart, it can have a negative impact on how they view themselves, how the initiatives that they take in school, versus someone who is told they're smart. They're going to take more initiative in school and see themselves differently than someone who is told that they're not smart. And that's what I love about this book. It's not that she wasn't smart. She may not have been great at math, but there are so many other different types of smarts that doesn't show up or is celebrated in a traditional school setting. And that's why I love that she talked about those first 2 smarts first, because guess what? If you're not smart in those things, that's not the end of the story. That's not the end of the book. If you're not smart in those 2 areas, there's the whole book left. There are 6 more smarts. All of us are smart in some way. Going down the list of the other smarts, there's picture smart. You think with pictures and patterns, visuals, and you probably see them doodle all the time. Music smart, they think with melodies and rhythms. Body smart, they think with movement and touch. Nature smart, they think with patterns. I feel like these last 2 smarts are 2 that are really going to help people and our children be successful in life. And that is people smart. They think with people. So they're really good at interpreting tone, body language, empathy. And the last one is self-smart. They think with reflection. So they're going to be more introspective and prefer individualized instruction and independent work. This child especially may be very appropriate for homeschool. And when it comes to these 8 smarts, everyone has some level of these smarts. Some are going to be higher, some are going to be lower. And there are ways to awaken and further stretch all of these smarts in your child. And she goes into more depth and examples on how to do that for each of the smarts in her book. And the cool thing is, once the smart is stretched and once the child is kind of taken out of their comfort zone in that smart area, it doesn't shrink back down to the original size. So even if they might not be, music smart may not be very high, but if you do little things here and there, expose them to different types of music, different genres of music, or take them to a ballet or take them to a concert, that's going to stretch that music smart so slightly. And even if it's not a consistent thing, like taking piano lessons every week, it's still going to stretch that smart, and it's going to stay stretched. The other cool thing is your child is going to have several top smarts, and all these smarts integrate together and work together in a lot of different interesting ways. Children that are strong in word smart and music smart may be very adept at learning foreign tonal languages. She goes into how describing the smart and how the different smarts work together, and even some of the the strengths and the weaknesses of certain smarts, and how we can not only encourage and grow some of these smarts, but help teach our kids self-awareness and control, so that these smarts can be used in a positive way. Also, when it comes to the strength of character and how it relates to the smarts, if you have a kid that is logic smart and word smart, they may be tempted to look down on other children that aren't as logic smart or word smart. And all of this is just touching the bare surface of all the information that's in this book. So I'll link the book down below along with her website so you can check out some of her other work. This is such a great resource so we can better understand our children, more specifically understand how God has uniquely created them to be, and nurture their smarts to live out their God-given purpose. And that our children can know without a doubt they are smart and they are valued.